I've never had any person that has utilized so many things and claimed them as tools and like talked about it in that kind of way that I find it intriguing. And I agree, but I agreed even before he did it. It was just interesting that he was the one who introduced us to it.
But what does that mean? Use it as a focus tool.
He says like, so, okay, this is what I think about.
What kind of cigarettes you smoking?
American Spirit.
American Spirit Organic, the turquoise ones.
Oh, gosh. Didn't I give you those packs?
No.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
He says, well, his strategy was like, you can kind of balance the two because you'll get more like maybe that lag response, although you'll have creative enlightenment if you use like marijuana, but then like an hour later, less than an hour later, it's like pulling out a cigarette and he's like, okay, this is where you kind of like come back and you have that clarity again, and it's like, okay, refocus again, this is what I'm doing, and this is the task that need to be done like right now, and kind of structured out his whole day like that. I mean, I swear it was like a bowl, and then a little bit later a cigarette, and then a bowl, and then a little bit later a cigarette. It's very interesting. You'll see when you're in Mexico, because he's gonna definitely have them both.
When you're drinking, how does cigarettes make you feel? Because sometimes you drink while you're drinking, you'll have a cigarette.
No, I definitely have a cigarette when I'm drinking.
And actually, that was the first. I never had a cigarette with my dad. I had a cigarette with you in Las Vegas, or two. I knew that I liked cigarettes here and there because I've had them before. But when we were in Las Vegas and we needed to take a break from blackjack, and it was like, okay, how do you recenter and refocus? We'd go outside and have a cigarette, you know?
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool because it does kind of break up, like, it just breaks up your mindset and it breaks up your pattern, and it helps you recalculate. It's okay, this is the mission at hand. But that was a specific moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it really comes back to timing. It comes back to like, what are you trying to accomplish? You know, not everybody even has things that they're trying to accomplish and is using tools in the right way. A lot of people are using pretty much everything, including pills, as a way of getting away from what they're trying to accomplish. But the mindset switch that like Steven and I do, and that I think more people could do, considering they're already made, you know, I'm not saying that I'd be the person out there making cigarettes, but they're already in existence, and this is already a purchasable tool that people can choose to buy. If you were to buy one, or if you were to utilize nicotine as a tool that was going to help you zone in and understand something on a different level,
hold on, let me
choose to.
Let me cut in, because I think you're a unique case. Most people, this doesn't work for most people.
It might just be me.
For most people.
What part doesn't work?
The using like the substances like these as tools. They're dependent on their little vices that people use, and it's not beneficial for their life. But people like us that we don't do anything. We're not addicted to anything, and that's because.
Wait a minute, you're not addicted to anything?
No.
We could go without anything.
Have you guys smoked weed today?
Yeah.
Yes. Did you smoke it yesterday?
No. No. Hey, did we? Yeah, we did.
Yes. Okay. Yes. How about the day before?
But
when's the last time you haven't smoked weed?
Hold on.
I know Tom's like grilling us.
We go like months of periods without doing anything.
Well, I mean, but it's fair for you to ask me the same questions with alcohol. Yeah. It's fair. It's fair.
And
but I'm allowed to ask you those questions about weed. I mean, you know, when you say, "Oh, I'm not addicted to it," but yet, am I addicted to alcohol? I've been drinking it for 23 years every night. I think I missed like 2 nights, and those nights were hell. I don't know if I could. I think I can get through a night without it, but I choose not to. Right? And I have a couple drinks. I only have a couple drinks every night before I go to bed. You know, and if you have a couple smokes, you know, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not a hypocrite. I understand, you know, but to say like, you know, we're not addicted to it, but yet you've done it for every day the last 385 days.
That's literally just like a Steven and I thing, though, because I think that most people have addictive types of personality traits, and most people probably would struggle with it. I think you have to have a severe amount of self-discipline. You
don't have an addictive personality trait?
You might have.
You weren't addicted to gambling? I took this chick gambling, man, and I swear to God, I created a monster, man. I created a monster.
I really like gambling. I really like blackjack. This is true. But I think that we're probably the odd cases out for sure.
Yeah, what we're trying to say is that like we take advantage of like moments of having it, but we don't always have it. And so the moment when we do have it, we utilize it for creativity purposes only. And then we go months without having anything at all.
Yeah.
And so like we don't have.
When's the last time you went months without having weed?
Couple months ago.
Yeah, a couple months ago. Yeah.
Okay, that's
what I'm saying. Now
we're
not
back. The
back.
answer I expected, but that's great.
Now we're back in. That's how you think I'm a pothead, dude. I'm not.
Hey, I don't know. I'm just. It wasn't in the job interview when we got together.
A lot of times, like for us specifically, this is like, you know, off the camera. For us specifically, it's like people in our life will gift it to us. Like my left us with some. Give it to us sometimes.
Yeah. But we're not out buying
we don't have a lot of money to be going and spending on, you know, stuff that we don't need to be spending money on.
You gotta go see my brother. I'm not gonna mention what brother it is, but I got a brother that doesn't smoke at all. He smokes cigarettes, but not weed. But he grows it and has like, I don't even know if I can say this, like 10 pounds of it just sitting there. He's like, I don't know, I just give it to people whenever I want to. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, weird, but whatever, man. But let's talk about addiction, right?
Yeah.
I am fucking addicted to everything. I swear to God, if you put lines of cocaine down here and I had a couple drinks, I'm snorting it, right? You put a room full of hookers out here, I am paying for them. I am gambling, I am drinking, I am doing everything. That's why I got to stay away from it. I just have to stay away from it. So keep the hookers away, from the cocaine, keep all the drugs away from me, because I'm that guy like, yeah, I'll try that, you know? I'm just fortunate enough not to be in those situations where I have to try it.
But what happens the next morning? Okay, I think that's where, like, you can classify addiction. What happens the next morning? You know, after all of that? Is it like, okay, I gotta do it again tonight, you know? Or is it like, okay, that was fun?
No, I'm like, what the hell did I just do? That's what I'm normally like, oh my God, you know, what did I just do?
I think people can have control over addiction if you have a mind that's strong enough to be able to control addiction. But it kind of comes back to like mental strength.
Okay, let me tell you this. So I went to Colombia, right? And I'm going to Colombia and I'm like, I am going to try cocaine. I've never tried cocaine in my life. I'm like, I'm trying cocaine. I'm going to go to Pablo Escobar's house and I'm going to try cocaine. Not really, but I'm going to try cocaine in Colombia because I hear it's pure. There's no fentanyl in it. You know, it's not cut down. I'm like, I'm going to try. I just want to try it. I don't want to die never having tried it. And so I go down there and the guy I'm with buys it, right? So he's got this cocaine, right? And then we go back to the hotel room and my wife calls me, right? And I don't lie to my wife. I don't lie to my wife about anything. And she's like, she's talking to me, and then she's about to say goodbye. All right, good night, honey. She's like, hey, wait a minute. Don't hang up. I'm like, what? She's like, do me one favor. Promise me one thing. I'm like, what? She says, don't do cocaine unless you do it with me. I'm like, oh, okay. So we have this 8-ball, but I don't even know what an 8-ball is, tell you the truth, but we have whatever we had, and it only cost us like $10, whatever it was, and it was, you know, but I didn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I've never done it in my life. I wanted to, but I'm sure if I did it, I'd want to keep doing it. You know, as long as it's around, I'd keep doing it.
Yeah, and cocaine's one of those ones, but it comes the morning after.
Have you tried cocaine?
I did. And it's pretty awesome.
It is?
You know, I mean, we should try when we go to Colombia or
Don't
Mexico.
Say that on camera.
But it's the next morning, I'm telling you, like, because I think that I think it depends on what it is, and I think that it depends on the kind of breed that you are. But I also think that with all things in life, you can improve. And if you can improve your mental strength and you can improve the quality where your mind controls your body and your body doesn't control your mind, then the next morning you would wake up with bloody nostrils and you'd be like, okay, all right, that was cool, that was fun, but I don't need to have bloody nostrils every day, you know? And that's another tool that you can pull out of the toolbox for certain things, because you can identify what behavioral patterns are intensified.
Yeah.
With different tools like cocaine and alcohol. I mean, those kind of can make you maybe feel a little bit more out of your box and a little bit more like engaging with other people if you're not naturally like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would wake up like naked with, you know, I'm not even going to say it, man. I just don't feel like I should be doing it. Do I want to try it sometime? Maybe. You know, my grandkids are going to watch this like 40 years from now. No, don't do it. But maybe I'd like to try it one time. But